Hello everyone. Today's story is called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It's written by Michael Kamkwamba and Brian Mealer, and pictures are by Elizabeth Zunon. Now, William Kamkwamba is also our main character in the story, and this is an illustration of him when he was 14 years old. So when he was 14, his village and many villages in Malawi, Malawi's a country in Africa, well, his village and many villages were hit by drought and everyone's crops began to fail. So people had very, very little food to eat and they became very, very hungry. And this is known as famine. However, our author and main character, William, becomes a local hero when he builds a windmill. So I'll begin. In a small village in Malawi, where people had no money for lights, nightfall came quickly and hurried poor farmers to bed. But for William, the darkness was best for dreaming. He dreamed of building things and taking them apart, like the trucks with bottle cap wheels parked under his bed, and pieces of radios that he'd crack open and wonder, if I can hear the music, then where is the band? His grandpa's tales of magic also whispered in the pitch black of his room. Witch planes passed through the window, while ghost dancers twirled around the room, as if 100 men were inside their bodies. At dawn in the fields, William scanned the maize rows for magical beans, then wondered as a truck rumbled past. How does it make its engine go? Pay attention where you throw that hoe, his father shouted. You'll cut off your foot. For all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Without water, the sun rose angry each morning and scorched the fields, turning the maize into dust. Without food, Malawi began to starve. Soon, William's father gathered the children and said, "From now on, we eat only one meal per day. Make it last." In the evenings, they sat around the lantern and ate their handful, watching hungry people pass like spirits along the roads. Money also disappeared with the rain. "Papani," his father said, "I am sorry. You will have to drop out of school." Now William stood on the road and watched the lucky students pass, alone with the monster in his belly and the lump in his throat. For weeks he sulked under the mango tree, until he remembered the library down the road, a gift from the Americans. He found science books filled with brilliant pictures. With his English dictionary close by, William put together how engines moved those big trucks and how radios pulled their music from the sky. But the greatest picture of all was a machine taller than the tallest tree with blades, like a fan. Slowly he built the sentence, "Windmills can produce electricity and pump water." He closed his eyes and saw a windmill outside his home, pulling electricity from the breeze and bringing light to the dark valley. He saw the machine drawing cool water from the ground, sending it gushing through thirsty fields, turning the maize tall and green, even when farmers' prayers for rain went unanswered. This windmill was more than a machine. It was a weapon to fight hunger. "Magetsi Amapepo," he whispered. "I will build electric wind." In the junkyard, pieces appeared like rusted treasures in the tall grass. A tractor fan, some pipe, and bearings and bolts that required every muscle to remove. "Tonga!" he'd shout to the birds and spiders holding up his prize. But as William dragged his metals home, people called out, "This boy is Masala. Only crazy people play with trash." After many weeks, William arranged his pieces in the dirt a broken bicycle, rusted bottle caps and plastic pipe, even a small generator that powered a headlight on a bike. For 3 days he bolted, banged and tinkered while chickens squawked and dogs barked and neighbours shook their heads saying, "What's Masala doing now?" His cousin Geoffrey and best friend Gilbert soon appeared. "Muli Bawanji," they greeted. "Can we help with electric wind?" "Grab your pangas and follow me," he said, and took them into the forest. Together they swung their sharp blades into the trunks of blue gum trees, then hammered them together to make the tower. Standing atop, William shouted, "Bring it up," while the boys tugged and heaved. A crowd gathered below and gazed at this strange machine that now leaned and wobbled like a clumsy giraffe. Some giggled, others teased, but William waited for the wind. Like always, it came. First a breeze, then a gusting gale. The tower swayed and the blades spun around. With sore hands once slowed by hunger and darkness, William connected wires to a small bulb, which flickered at first, then surged as bright as the sun. "Watcha Tabawino," a man yelled. "Well done!" As the doubters clapped and cheered, William knew he had just begun. Light could not fill empty bellies, but another windmill could soak the dry ground, creating food where once there was none. "Magetsi Amapepo, electric wind can feed my country," William thought. And that was the strongest magic of all. So, William was successful in his quest to build the windmill. It did take a few more years, I believe, to actually generate water for the ground. Here is a picture of William atop his windmill in June 2007. So this story is so famous and well known that it's actually been made into a movie for Netflix. And what became of William? Well, I'm just going to cut to the end here. In 2007, William was discovered by some journalists invited to speak at the TED conference in Tanzania. He'd never been in an airplane or even seen the internet. Many people were moved by his story and donated money to help send him back to school and eventually install a solar-powered water pump that irrigated his father's fields, forever protecting them from hunger. William is now a student at Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire. He is studying to be an engineer and plans to return to Malawi to work on renewable energy for electricity and pumping water in villages. So, a big well done to William, a very, very determined young man. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about this story. Bye.